Let's construct a presentation sheet. I'm going to put this module, this part of the module, in both the first project and this project. So if you've already done it in the first project, you don't need to redo it here. But I want to go through it for a little bit of continuity. This year, Revit changed so that it allows, this year, or should I say last year, Revit changed so it allows PDFs to be exported without having to have an Adobe driver to them. So that allows us to create PDF sheets. So I'm changing my format to meet that a little better. So I want to make a presentation sheet that is an architectural D size, which is 24 inches by 36 inches. So to do that, we're going to start by downloading, and I have this in M1, and I'll probably put it in a Computer Viz 2 section. And let me make sure I file this in my right location here. Just give me a second. And I've already downloaded it actually, so I don't need to do it. And I've also upgraded it. So actually what I'll do is I'll just save it here and then I'll go through that process again. So I've saved it, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and open it. It's going to upgrade the model. And we're going to go through the basics of then constructing this into our basic submittal sheet for the projects. So this is opened as an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. If I select any of these, you'll see the dimension 11 here, 8 in the other direction. First thing we can do is actually change that to our 24 by 36. So I'm just going to select the one line at the top, and then it'll allow me to put 24 inches in here. I'm going to click on this line over here and zoom out, and you'll be able to see that dimension highlighted up here. I'm going to select it and type in 36 inches. And now we have a 36 by 24 architectural D size, which is kind of close to what a computer screen size would be. So it's almost there for a digital presentation of 16 by 9. So once again, we want to put some labeling on this. So I'm going to go to let's see, create, I guess it is, in the family element, and we're going to add some text, and I'm going to type in computer. I'll call it the course number ARCH 2014, and I'll type in the year that I'm actually producing this one. So this will be for the upcoming, that would be spring of 2022. And you'll notice how small that is. And what I want to do is I want to change that to a larger size. So we're going to go through the idea of editing type. So I've clicked edit type for that selected font. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to call it title label. Just so I know what I'm doing here later on when I come back to it. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to make some changes to it. I'm going to make the text size now, instead of 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to make it 1/2 inch. Then I'll make it twice as large. I always like to take this black lettering and then reduce it down to gray a little bit. It looks much more sophisticated. And with the background, it's opaque right now, which means if I put it over something black, there'll be a white box around it. And that really aggravates me because I want transparency. The software will do a really good job of portraying the text on a background without having to have that box around it. So I'll click OK with that. Notice there was no change happening, and that's because I have to reselect this text and then drag down and select that title label. And so there we have a title starting for that. And then the next thing I'd want to see on this is your name. So we can go down and select now. Oops, let me unselect the text. We'll go to the text box again, and I'm just going to select the note label size, and I'll zoom in here and I'll type what will be your name. And we'll just move this over and stick it right here. Now you can do some variation on that. This is fine. Like for instance, I don't like the depth of that text looks still too dark for me. So I'm going to go and make another modification to it. I'm going to pull this up even lighter like this. And there we go. So this stands off just a little bit. I'm going to hit ZE. That zoom extends. It should. Hold on just a second. Let me get out of my... And now we can see that whole sheet. And what I want to do right away is save this sheet with a special name, my own name. So I'm going to, I'll do a save as, and we're saving that as a family. It's not a project. And I'm going to go start presentation sheet with text, with title. Oops. Well, it got saved with just with, and that's fine for now. I won't go back and redo that. Okay, so we're going to load that now into our current project. It's going to kick up an error behind my head here. I'll drag this up. Can't create this kind of an element in this view, and that's okay. What it does do, though, is it's already loaded it into the software. So now if I, into the project folder. So if I go under Sheets and I right-click on that, I can create a new sheet. And if you see, it says Start Presentation With, which should have been with title. So I'm going to go ahead and select that and click OK. And now I have a new presentation sheet. So I'll leave it there, and what we'll do is then we'll look at building up our full layout for our submittal in the next clip.